Hey there, YouTube. No, Taurus High Point Production coming at you. My name's Ray Shepard. But anyway, let me. There we go. That's a little better for me. Ramrods. A little bit about them. The components they're made of. The different ones. I'm covering the two styles, the one with the rifle and the range rod, and proper loading technique. Got a couple of them here in front of me. This is an old Hawken 80s model. Old Buckhorn Magnum. The Bobcat is a version of this, but it's either percussion or flintlock. It comes in either. This is a Buckhorn. Aiming Nettle. The old guys are out. It's another CVA 45. The Buckhorn and the Hawken are 50 caliber. This is another 50 caliber, but it's called the Hunter Bolt because the loading mechanism operates very similar to a bolt action rifle. As far as the loading technique, it's the same all the way across the board. They use different patch round ball or sabot, depending on what your choice of poison. The ramrods. One material they use is aluminum. Very tough, very decent, okay. Very strong for loading. If you're one of those that doesn't believe in cleaning the barrel every second to third shot, one of those will probably do you a lot better. Okay. Then we have fiberglass. Fiberglass is bendy. It's a little more forgiving. Okay, there's two. They are different lengths because they are for different rifles with different barrel lengths, but they are fiberglass. Then we have the good old-fashioned chunk of hickory for the piece of history on the Pennsylvania rifle there, Kentucky rifle on the end there for the 45 cal. There is another material that is used. It's Delrin. Delrin is an acetyl plastic, and you can almost bend that thing like a pretzel and it's going to snap back. I myself don't care for the Delrin. There's not enough there's too much forgiveness there. And not enough stiffness for the loading procedure. Now you can go get a range rod. Those are generally brass, stainless steel, aluminum. They're actually longer than most rifles, and they're used, hence the name range rod. I don't care for them, and I'm going to explain. With the range rod, you can guide that puppy just about anywhere up and down and jam it down in your barrel and go on about your day. They are so stiff and so merciless on the loading procedure that, it just shoves whatever you got down there. It's kind of a one and done, and you're done with it and you're ready to shoot. The reason I don't care for the range rod is because of that. You can grab that puppy anywhere and drive it down. If you're doing a run and gun, okay, or a woods walk, or perhaps you're doing a competitive meat shoot where you're allowed one of these or a flintlock, but your range rod is out and you have to use a rod that comes with your rifle. Now, as I said, that loading procedure is going to be explained and shown. Okay. I'm gonna. Yep. Good. Most people, because of the range rod, okay, this one uses the aluminum, want to go ahead and grab this thing all the way up here and drive down. You see that it does work. It will drive down past your fouling and all of that, no problem. You can even put like a palm saver up there if you wanted to really protect your hands. Is it needed? Not really, because when I broke into this, okay, and I was shooting and I would get 1 or 2 rounds down, and somebody would always stop me and say, take a brush and a patch and just swab the barrel real quick and you're going to be good. Going 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds and trying to get your ramrod in there, although yes, you are having fun, that's going to hurt you in the long run. Now, if you had a range rod and you can get that purchase, that'll be fine. But these fiberglass rods and these wood rods, okay, are notorious that once you start that from that high up and trying to drive, it's been rumored, okay, I've never seen it, but they break and then they go completely through the hand. I might see through here, but through the hand long, I don't see that. It may step in and bounce off one of the bones and poke out through a different area of the palm or the back of the hand. I could see that, but straight through, it's just a bit of a reach for me. Now, the proper technique, okay, as you're loading one of these, isn't to grab it all the way up here. It's to grab maybe 4 or 5 inches at a time. Yes, it's a little bit longer on the loading procedure. Okay, you're not getting that and just driving straight down. Ooh, that's good. I've had a range rod. I've used a range rod. There is nothing wrong with them at the range. The problem is that when I got into a meat shoot with my hawking, I noticed I had that tendency of trying to grab that purchase and trying to drive that ball down. That is where range rods create problems. Now, if you're just going to shoot at the range and show off in front of all your friends and whatnot, by all means, do so. There is nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to want to go out and run and gun, or do a meat shoot, or a club shoot, where you're trying to follow period or history, they're not going to allow that ramrod in, that range rod. What you're going to be hung with, or blessed with, if you would, is probably something that looks like this, which is a wood ramrod. Now, there are those that soak these in gasoline. If that's your deal. Soak them in kerosene. If that's your deal. I know somebody on here that said they've had one soaking for well over 2 years in kerosene. It hardens the wood. Basically adds a treatment to the wood. I will tell you, I haven't, and I can tell you that as long as I have been doing this, I have heard about that from different folks. The soaking of the ramrod stabilizes the wood, makes it a little bit tougher. But as long as I'm following what I'm doing, or supposed to be doing, which is every second, third shot, bore brush with a patch wrapped around it, just shove it down the barrel and pull it out, I'm not going to have the same issues that they do. Now, granted, I don't do a lot of run and gun, or a lot of what they call meat shoots. I'm basically a range shooter. I hunt with these upon my own property. I plank with them from time to time. And that may be the biggest difference between me and those that do this competitively, or do this as a form of extra income via YouTube. I don't do that. I'm just bringing this out here and showing you the different materials they're made from, covering that. I do have one that is made of that Delrin. I don't know where it is at the time, because I changed it out. I think it came with the Hawk in here, but I put a fiberglass one in there. I'm working on getting a wood one for it. The fiberglass works excellent. I just haven't pulled that trigger into going into Lowe's or Home Depot to pick up that chunk of hickory that I'm going to need. But overall, the takeaway is that ramrods are made out of many different materials. You have the ramrods via the rifle, as well as a range rod. Is a range rod horrible? If you're on the range, no. If you wish to be shooting this stuff in any like competition style, you may want to step away from the range rod and keep a work on the rod that comes with the rifle, so you work on proper 5 to 6 inch loading technique to keep from, well, with a Delrin it would just bend all the way over. Wood would probably break if you had 4 or 5 shots in there and you're trying to stuff another ball in there where you haven't swabbed after that second or third shot. It's all in choice. Okay? And doing you, believing in you, making your own decisions, that's on you. All I can show you is what I've been taught and what works for me. This has been a Taurus High Point production. I choose, therefore I am responsible.